What happens to a show when the very heart of it might walk away? Fans of Hudson and Rex are buzzing with one burning question. Is John Reardon, the face of Detective Charlie Hudson, really leaving before Season 8 begins? Whispers have spread. Across social media, theories are multiplying, and the truth feels tangled between fact and rumor. But one thing is certain: if these whispers turn out to be true, the future of Hudson and Rex could change forever. Hudson and Rex isn't just another detective drama. It's a show that carved its own identity in a crowded world of crime series, thanks to its warm heart, its Canadian roots, and above all, the unbeatable partnership between John Reardon's Detective Charlie Hudson and Diesel, the German Shepherd who plays Rex. For fans, Hudson and Rex is not just about chasing criminals or solving puzzles. It's about trust, loyalty, and the unique bond between a man and his dog. Without John Reardon, that entire balance feels fragile, and that's exactly why the rumors about him leaving have hit so hard. The show first premiered in 2019 and quickly stood out from the rest. While most cop shows lean on high-tech labs, car chases, and dark storylines, Hudson and Rex brought something lighter, warmer, and more family-friendly. Viewers loved watching Hudson work side by side with Rex, using not just sharp instincts but also the unspoken connection they shared. John Reardon's calm but clever portrayal of Charlie Hudson gave the series its grounding. He wasn't the kind of detective who solved cases by shouting or intimidating suspects. Instead, he worked with patience, logic, and compassion. In many ways, John Reardon became the anchor of the series, and Rex was his perfect partner. Fans around the world were quick to embrace the duo. From Canada to Europe, and even reaching audiences across streaming platforms, Hudson and Rex built a loyal community of viewers who tuned in not only for the cases but also for the characters. Social media platforms began filling up with fan art, discussion threads, and debates over favorite episodes. For many, watching Hudson and Rex became a comfort show, a reliable escape from real-world stress. And with each passing season, John Reardon's role grew even more important. Now, imagine that steady anchor suddenly being taken away. That's why when whispers began about John possibly leaving the series, fans reacted with panic. For them, the idea isn't just about losing an actor. It's about losing the chemistry that makes the show special. And here's the thing: rumors in television are powerful. A single comment in an interview, a small change in filming schedules, or even a vague social media post can spark wildfire speculation. In the case of Hudson and Rex, those sparks have already caught fire before we get to the rumors themselves. It's worth understanding just how central John is to the entire identity of Hudson and Rex. Unlike other long-running shows where an ensemble cast shares the weight, Hudson and Rex revolves almost entirely around the bond between two characters. Hudson and Rex, yes. There are fantastic supporting roles like Dr. Sarah Trong, Superintendent Donovan, and Jesse Mills, but at the end of the day, the heart of the show is always Hudson and Rex. Remove Hudson, and suddenly the balance shifts. Fans know this, and so does the production team, which is why speculation about John leaving isn't just a small concern. It could decide the future of the series. The truth is, John Reardon isn't just playing a character. He embodies him. His real-life personality mirrors the charm, humility, and intelligence that fans see in Detective Hudson. In interviews, John has often spoken about how much he enjoys working with Diesel and how rewarding it is to be part of a show that entertains families while showcasing the talents of an incredible animal co-star. That's another reason the rumors sting. For fans, John has never seemed like the kind of actor eager to jump ship. He has always come across as dedicated, grounded, and grateful. So what exactly happened to stir doubts now? This is where the conversation around Season 8 begins. As production schedules, contract renewals, and behind-the-scenes negotiations loom large, fans start asking questions. Did John sign on for another season? Was there a hint in an interview that suggested otherwise? Or could it all be nothing more than social media exaggeration? Before we can understand the truth, we need to examine the origin of these rumors, where they started, how they spread, and why they've become impossible to ignore. Every rumor has a birthplace. Sometimes it begins with a slip of the tongue in an interview, other times it's a fan theory that snowballs into news, and on occasion it's a simple misunderstanding that gets twisted into a headline. In the case of John Reardon and Hudson and Rex, the question on everyone's lips, is he leaving before season 8? Didn't just appear out of nowhere. It started with small hints scattered across social media, interviews, and entertainment gossip pages, until fans began connecting dots that may or may not have ever belonged together. The first sparks of worry came when filming for the upcoming season seemed unusually quiet. Unlike previous years where set photos, cast posts, and production updates appeared regularly on Twitter and Instagram, this time there was a noticeable silence. Fans who religiously track every update noticed it immediately. A few began asking in forums if John was missing from the usual behind-the-scenes shots. One fan posted, "We've seen Diesel, we've seen Mako, but where's John? Did he not return for filming?" That single question ignited dozens of replies, and soon it spread across platforms. From there, online speculation only grew louder. Entertainment blogs picked up on the fan chatter and wrote headlines designed to grab attention. Could John Reardon exit Hudson and Rex after season 7? And lead actor missing from early production photos sparks concern. Most of these pieces were built on thin evidence, yet once the articles hit, the rumors felt more real. Fans shared the links, debates got hotter, and the idea that John might be stepping away suddenly looked possible. In the age of viral news, all it takes is one unverified story to make thousands believe it's fact. Adding fuel to the fire were John's own actions, or rather, his lack of them. Normally, when actors are locked in for another season, networks, or the stars themselves hint at it through social media posts or quick thank you notes to fans. At this time, John's online presence was quiet. He didn't confirm his return, nor did he deny anything. That silence created a vacuum, and in the entertainment world, silence is often filled with speculation. Fans began interpreting his absence online as a sign of bigger things happening behind closed doors. Then came a second wave of rumors sparked by an old interview resurfacing. Months earlier, John had spoken about the challenges of balancing his career with family life. He mentioned how demanding the schedule of a lead role could be and how much he valued time away from the spotlight. While his comments seemed harmless at the time, fans revisited them with new eyes. Suddenly, words like taking a break and slowing down sounded like hidden signals that he was planning to step away from Hudson and Rex. The resurfaced quotes spread like wildfire, framed as proof of his possible exit. By this point, social media was buzzing. Reddit threads stretched into hundreds of comments, with fans arguing whether John's departure was imminent. Some insisted the rumors were nonsense, pointing to how much he loved working with Diesel and the rest of the cast. Others argued that actors eventually move on, and maybe John was ready for something bigger after years in a comfortable role. The lack of any official statement meant both sides had fuel for their theories, but the real twist came when whispers emerged about contract negotiations. Industry insiders claimed season 8 was undergoing its usual renewal talks, and while other cast members were confirmed, John's name wasn't mentioned. That absence alone was enough to send fans into panic. Mode in television, especially with lead actors, contracts are always a delicate subject. Sometimes delays mean nothing, but other times they signal disagreements over pay, creative direction, or long-term commitment. Without clear answers, every small detail was magnified. What makes the situation more complicated is the nature of Hudson and Rex itself. Unlike massive Hollywood shows with dozens of producers leaking tidbits to the press, this Canadian series often flies under the radar. That means information is limited, making fans even more eager to analyze the smallest hints. A missed press release, a vague scheduling announcement, or a casual post from another cast member can take on exaggerated meaning, and that's exactly what happened here. So, the origin of the rumors isn't one single moment, but a chain reaction. It began with the quietness around season 8 filming, was amplified by blog headlines, intensified by John's silence online, twisted further by resurfaced interviews, and finally cemented by speculation about contracts. Each step added another layer of uncertainty until fans couldn't tell the difference between rumor and fact. In truth, there's no official confirmation yet. John hasn't said he's leaving, and the network hasn't announced a replacement. But the damage is done, the seed of doubt has been planted. And when a fanbase as loyal and protective as Hudson and Rex's feels uncertain, the noise only grows louder. This is how whispers become headlines, and headlines become the story. The real question now isn't just where the rumor came from, but what it means for fans and the future of the series. Because when speculation takes root this deeply, even the strongest bonds between actor and audience can start to feel shaky. The moment the whispers about John Reardon's possible exit from Hudson and Rex began to circulate, the fandom went into overdrive. What had started as small pockets of speculation quickly turned into a wave of emotional reactions online. For longtime fans of the show, this wasn't just another rumor. This was personal. The bond they felt with John's character, Charlie Hudson, had been built over years of episodes, emotional storylines, and the unshakable chemistry between Hudson and Rex. To imagine the show without him felt like imagining the sky without the sun. It technically could exist, but it would never look or feel the same. Twitter was one of the first places where concern erupted. Fans began posting threads analyzing every possible clue, from John's social media silence to the absence of his name in early production updates. Some tweets were light-hearted fans joking that Rex should renegotiate John's contract himself, while others were raw with worry. One fan wrote, "If John Reardon leaves, there is no Hudson and Rex. It's not just Rex solving cases. It's the partnership that makes it special." That single post was shared thousands of times, capturing the heart of what so many viewers were feeling. On Reddit, the reaction was even more intense. Entire discussion threads popped up overnight with titles like, "What happens if John really leaves?" and "The future of Rex without Hudson." In these spaces, fans debated fiercely. Some argued that the show could never survive without its lead, pointing to examples from other series that collapsed after losing a central character. Others took a more hopeful view, suggesting the writers might reinvent the storyline, perhaps introducing a new detective to partner with Rex. But even in those optimistic comments, there was always an undertone of doubt. Would fans stick around if Hudson wasn't there? Facebook groups dedicated to Hudson and Rex became emotional support hubs. Members shared old clips of John and Diesel together, reminding each other of the joy the duo brought to the screen. Nostalgic montages of the pair solving cases began trending within the fan community, almost as if people were already bracing themselves for a farewell. One heartfelt post read, "I started watching this show during a tough time in my life. Hudson and Rex helped me through it. If John leaves, it's like losing a friend." Comments like that showed just how deeply the series resonated with its audience, not as entertainment but as comfort. The reaction wasn't just sadness. There was also anger. Some fans criticized the network, accusing them of mishandling communication. The lack of clear updates was seen as disrespectful to a loyal fan base that had supported the series for years. "We deserve to know what's happening," one frustrated viewer wrote. "Don't leave us in the dark." Others accused entertainment blogs of blowing things out of proportion just to get clicks, fueling unnecessary panic. That frustration created a divide in the fandom, those who believed the rumors were grounded in truth, and those who insisted they were nothing but overblown gossip. Interestingly, some fans began comparing the situation to other shows that had faced similar crises. They pointed to examples like Castle, where the departure of a key actor sent shockwaves through the fanbase, or NCIS, which endured multiple cast changes but always struggled to maintain the same chemistry. These comparisons fueled further anxiety. If even massive, well-established shows struggled when losing stars, how could Hudson and Rex, a series built almost entirely on one partnership, possibly survive such a change? But amidst the panic there was also hope. A smaller but determined group of fans began rallying around the idea that John wasn't leaving at all, and that the rumors were simply unfounded. They reminded others that neither John nor the producers had confirmed anything. To them, the silence wasn't proof of departure, it was just the natural quiet of production. This group urged patience, encouraging fellow fans to wait for official announcements before assuming the worst. Yet, even their reassurances couldn't fully silence the noise. Perhaps the most striking part of the reaction was how quickly fans turned their concern into action. Petitions began circulating online, urging producers to keep John Reardon on the show at all costs. Some even suggested letter-writing campaigns, tagging the network and production company in heartfelt pleas. The intensity of these efforts highlighted just how much emotional investment fans had poured into the series. For them, this wasn't just about an actor leaving a role, it was about protecting something they deeply loved. At the heart of all this is one undeniable truth: John Reardon and Diesel's partnership has become more than just a TV duo. For fans, it's a symbol of loyalty, friendship, and the idea that trust can overcome any challenge. Losing John would feel like losing half of that symbol, and that's why reactions have been so visceral. Whether angry, sad, or hopeful, fans are united by the same fear that without John, Hudson and Rex might never feel the same again, and so, as speculation swirls and emotions run high, one question grows louder in every corner of the fandom: is this panic justified, or are fans grieving a loss that hasn't even happened? To answer that, we need to look at what's actually been said and what hasn't by John himself, the producers, and the network. Because while fan reactions reveal the depth of love for the show, the real truth may lie behind the curtain, in the quiet world of contracts, schedules, and choices yet to be revealed, with emotions running high and rumors spreading like wildfire. The natural question becomes, what do we actually know about John Reardon's future on Hudson and Rex? For all the speculation, there are only a handful of solid facts, and they paint a picture that's far more complicated than the rumors suggest. First, neither John Reardon nor the network has issued an official statement confirming his departure. That silence has been the biggest spark behind the frenzy, but silence does not always mean goodbye. In television, especially with contract renewals, networks often keep details under wraps until negotiations are fully settled, revealing too much too early can spoil announcements or weaken bargaining positions. So, John's quietness may not be a farewell, it might simply be business as usual. Second, production sources have confirmed that Hudson and Rex is preparing for its 8th season. Crew members have been spotted on set, supporting actors have spoken about returning, and Rex himself, Diesel the dog, has been featured in behind-the-scenes updates. The absence of John from these early glimpses is unusual, but not unprecedented. Lead actors sometimes join later in filming, depending on scheduling, rewrites, or contract discussions. So while it's unusual, it's not conclusive proof of an exit. Third, fans digging into John's recent public appearances have noticed that he hasn't committed to other major roles. Unlike actors preparing to jump into new projects, John hasn't lined up blockbuster films or big TV shows elsewhere. His career has been steady and selective, often prioritizing stability over chasing Hollywood fame. This raises an important question. If he hasn't lined up something new, why would he step away from a series where he's beloved and central? Finally, we must remember John's own history with the show. In past interviews, he has spoken warmly about working with Diesel and the joy of making a family-friendly drama. He described Hudson and Rex as a unique project where he found balance, fun, and creativity. For an actor, those kinds of experiences are rare. That makes it harder to imagine him walking away without a compelling reason. So what do we really know? We know Season 8 is moving forward. We know John hasn't confirmed anything. We know there's no replacement announced. And we know that for now, the rumors are built more on silence and assumption than on fact. Yet, until an official word arrives, fans are left in limbo, caught between hope and fear.